Hello and welcome to the akapodcast, which basically means Amy.
I'm Kyle.
Adventures podcast. Now, we've not got an intro. We're not that technical. This is our first ever podcast, so I'm really sorry for any background noise, any blips. We've never really done this before, but basically, a few people have asked us to do one, and we just thought, let's do a podcast where we talk about all things cycling, exercise, mental health, and marriage. Kyle, do you want to add anything?
I think you covered everything there, haven't you?
I hope so, yeah. I do like to talk a lot.
And you'd like to take the lead.
Yeah, I do wear the bib shorts.
Well, you don't think you do.
I know I do.
I don't think so.
Anyway, we thought for our first episode, seeing as we've just got back from Italy, if you follow us on Insta or YouTube, you probably know that we have recently ridden from Venice to...
Well, Treviso specifically.
Treviso, thanks there, Kyle, for correcting me. From Treviso through the north of Italy, across to the northeast southwest, through the French Alps, up through France to London, and then back home to Derby. So we did 2,000 kilometres in 8 days, averaging around 250 kilometres a day.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It was hard. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it was hard.
Yeah. And a lot of people have asked us to share sort of our recovery tips and best moments, worst moments. So we thought we'll have a bit of chat about that today. We'll also do a few little other extras. And basically this podcast is going to be us chatting about our week, what's been going on, and hopefully get you guys involved as well if anyone... I mean, I'm saying hello everyone. It's probably about 3 men and a blooming cat listening. So...
I'll take that.
Yeah. Me and Chester's in the room with us, our dog, and he's listening, so...
At least then I'll feel like someone who's actually listening to me.
What, the dog?
Well, the 3 men and the cat.
Yeah, well... Might be a few animals listening, maybe a few plant pots. I'm just looking at our pot plants and they're blooming awful. Carl's died while we were in
I'm a
Italy.
bit upset about that.
He's very upset about it.
I was really looking after it as well.
To be honest, it resembles what I feel like right now. It's literally one green leaf and the rest is shriveled little pieces of... I don't even know how to describe it.
One of my other plants is thriving though.
There is a thriving plant that's green. It looks good.
Obviously takes less water.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about Italy. So... My best moment of Italy was the day we went up Alpe d'Huez. I have never been so happy on the bike. Literally, going up there, it was one of the hardest climbs, the hardest climb I've ever done because we had the weight on our bikes, but the feeling of getting to the top and devouring a hot chocolate and just feeling like I've done it, and like from where we came, like starting cycling 3 years ago, to being at the top of there, knowing that we'd cycled like 600k over the past 2 days and that we'd made it to the top, that was... the bit of the trip that I was worried about the most. It just, it was the best feeling ever. I don't know about you, Kyle, but...
No, I agree. Like, on paper, that day was always going to be hard. Like, a lot of climbing. I know the other days were really long distance, so we knew there'd be more, like, difficult distance-wise. But all the climbing was always going to be a hard day. But because of the views, it was absolutely beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, the views...
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're taking the views more on the way down, definitely, when you can actually breathe, but... Yeah.
What made it even harder is the sun really came out when we started climbing outdoors.
The sun really came out to fry us, basically.
And every time you come out the shadow of the trees, you literally just felt the heat hit you, didn't you?
Yeah.
And as you were riding up it, you could feel like you saw these like little waterfall things on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And every time I went past one, I was like, oh, I could just stop now and dip my head in that.
I'm surprised you
didn't.
didn't.
But I never did. No, yeah, I never did.
Why didn't you?
Because I just wanted to keep going and try and tick down the miles.
I know. When we started, it's a 9 mile climb, I think.
Yeah.
3,600 feet in one climb. And honestly, the first mile, I thought...
3,700 feet.
Oh, thank you, Kyle, for correcting. Add on the extra 100 feet there. Don't miss us out on that.
No.
Honestly, when first mile in, I was thinking, I can't do this. But then you just get in a zone and you just keep going and you just remind yourself, it doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you get to the top. So that was my best moment, really. What was your best moment?
Yeah, probably that. I mean, we got to the top, the sense of like achievement, but like the views around you as well was really good. Knowing what we'd done that day, even like leading up to descending, I can't remember the name. Lautere, was it? No, sorry about my stomach.
Is that
there.
your stomach?
Sorry about that.
From a neck, Kyle, you just had peanut butter on toast.
That's what's probably repeating on me.
Digesting.
So yeah, we descended Lautere, I think, which was like 20. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but we descended that for like 20 miles. And then we came to this like reservoir where the water was literally so blue on it. And that was beautiful.
Is that your favourite bit, the blue water?
I think so, yeah. I've showed quite a lot of people that picture.
Oh, that lake is near Galibia. I've forgotten what the lake's called, but it was beautiful.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's where we descended that mountain.
Yeah. That was really nice.
It was going towards outdoors.
Yeah, it was lovely. But my worst moment, moving on, was probably on day 3 or 4 of the trip. We got stuck in the worst rain I've ever experienced in my life. I'm talking hand in front of the face, you couldn't see, and it was torrential. And we had to go up this 2,000 feet climb. It was pouring it down with rain. We had to descend down, and I was honestly scared. Even you were scared, weren't you, Kyle?
No, it wasn't that I was scared. I was bloody freezing.
You said you were scared to me. You were like, oh, this is dangerous. We shouldn't be riding like this.
As in, it was dangerous because people couldn't see you.
Yeah, so
even
you were
with
scared.
lights on.
So
No, I wasn't scared. You was more scared than me.
You were scared
Don't
too.
drag me into that.
You were scared. You were like, oh, Amy, we've got to shelter. We're getting this McDonald's.
That's when we got the bottom, because let's put that into context. Before the climb, I thought, no, it started raining, it's not too bad. Amy was like, oh, I'm going to put my coat on. I was like, no, it'll pass over. I don't need to bother with the coat.
Yeah.
So off I went, up the climb, got to the top, and it was absolutely bouncing off my noggin.
I've never seen rain like it, honestly.
You're about to give me concussion, it was bouncing that hard off my head. So I thought, oh, I've only got to descend this. By the time I got to the bottom, I was borderline hypothermic, I think.
No, yeah, you were, and you were borderline blooming stressed out as well. Actually, not borderline, you were. You were scared, and you won't admit it.
I wasn't scared.
You were. We saw this McDonald's, and you were like, hey, we've got to get in there. And then
No, I wanted to warm up.
Yeah, you just wanted to go to McDonald's, didn't you? Be honest.
Yeah. It's the only time I could convince Amy to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm not really a McDonald's fan normally, sorry, but it's not my sort of establishment. I'm a bit of a cafe snob, but at this point in my life, I didn't care. Get me in anywhere. Get me in blooming chip shop. I don't really care. Anywhere that would take me in. But then we couldn't even go inside because we had our bikes with us, and Kyle's bike, the bike lock was at the bottom of your bag, and so we sat outside under a shelter with McDonald's hot chocolate. And you said, now this is a quote, and you might not agree with me. You were like, Amy, it's dangerous to be riding in this. We can't go on like this.
You keep mentioning the word dangerous. Yeah, never once mentioned the word dangerous.
Because you said...
I will get the videos out.
You said, if we carry on, I'm going to get hypothermia.
I did not say that.
You did.
You are just making stuff up.
No, you literally a minute ago said you felt like you were hypothermic.
Yeah, but what happened is...
We're now just having an argument on the podcast.
Yeah, so basically we stopped to the McDonald's so I could warm up, as did you.
Because you thought
Don't
you were
forget it, so it wasn't all me.
Because you thought you were going to get hypothermia because you were scared.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So we stopped to the McDonald's so we could have a hot drink.
Yeah.
Which we did. And I did
and
say
you had 2 burgers.
I did say, do you know what? If it's going to continue raining like this, shall we just book somewhere a bit earlier?
Because I'm going to get hypothermia.
No, you're adding that bit in.
And I'm scared.
No, you're adding both of those bits in. So...
I'm just checking the podcast is still recording. I'm a bit scared because the screen's gone off. Hang on. Oh, no. We can't access your video. Oh, that's all right. We're not videoing. Okay, carry on, Kyle. Sorry.
Yeah, so... Yeah, you're basically making both of those things up.
But basically, that's our lowest moment for me anyway. It was soggy McDonald's hot chocolate out of a machine, wasn't even frothy, and I was wet and cold. And I still had, at that point, it was 6 o'clock at night, and we still had 45 miles to ride, with Kyle being scared of getting hypothermia.
That is absolute nonsense. Also, I don't think that's the lowest point, because after that
What's your
McDonald's,
lowest point?
we was very positive.
We were positive after the
In
McDonald's.
fact, you literally praised me after the McDonald's, went, oh, I love how positive you're being, like,
yeah, you
just
were.
getting on with it, and just... And not wanted to moan up the climb or anything.
No, I'm not saying you moaned, I'm just saying you were scared.
No,
I think you were so positive.
That never came out of my
because
mouth.
you were so scared, it made you positive because you thought, I've got to get in positive.
No, I'd say the worst moment for me was probably the Milan day.
Oh, yeah.
Not the whole day. The day was beautiful. If you were doing a day to enjoy and you didn't have to get up the next day and ride, it would have been amazing. But going through Milan at the end of your day was just...
It was horrible.
Yeah.
We spent an hour and a half stopped at traffic lights. Kyle calculated it. Each traffic light was a 2-minute stop.
No, I calculated around an hour.
An hour. There was 30...
Well, there was other stops as well.
Yeah, there was 30 sets of traffic lights and we had to stop at everyone. Oh, Lord.
And that day we also went on cycle tracks.
It was a red light district, not in a good way for you, Kyle. It was red lights of doom.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I wasn't too happy.
The nicest person we met on the trip, moving on, was this guy that we met. He was French and he didn't speak a word of English and we didn't speak a word of French, but he was just cycling next to us and we were like pigeon talking to each other. Yeah. And he was just lovely. He was just cycling next to us, smiling, like pointing, asking us where we were going, like in French, and we couldn't really understand.
So he loved the bike.
Yeah, he was like pointing at our bikes, like, oh, nice bike, and like it was just
he
lovely.
Knew a little, didn't he?
Yeah. So that was my nicest person. Did you meet any more nice people?
To be fair, over the whole time, he was probably the only one we actually spoke to.
To be fair, we didn't really meet many people, but we were stuck with each other for 8 days, and that's probably why
it's a miracle we
we're having
didn't
a bit
fall
of a
out.
tiff. To be fair, we didn't have a big argument the whole trip. I was very proud of us for that. We did have a few tiffs along the way.
We were very focused.
I got sworn at a roundabout after Milan.
Yeah,
I got called a TWAT.
You were leading me the wrong way.
Because, no, I was going around the roundabout and my Garmin was being weird and I couldn't tell which way I was going. I was all stressed out, it was dark. And I said, I think it's this way. And Carl was like, no, it's this way. I said, I think it's this way. And then it wasn't that way. And Carl was like, oh, you twat. I just swore. I never normally swear, but...
You can't swear, on you?
You can, it's over 18.
Oh, is this not a family-friendly podcast?
It's not a family-friendly podcast. We can say whatever we want.
Right.
And I
Well,
don't like swearing, by the way. I feel really bad for saying that now. Now I feel guilty.
No, but that was a word that was used.
But that was what you said, so I'm just repeating.
Yeah, well, that's one part of the story I will not.
And then I said, if you're going to speak to me like that, Kyle, then I'm just riding off. But then I couldn't ride off fast enough because you could catch me up. So, and then also I was scared of riding off because it was dark.
It was a very team effort of riding off.
Yeah. And then you just caught me straight back up.
And then I just sat behind you for a minute. I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to sit behind you to really annoy you.
Yeah, and then you kept freewheeling behind me. I was like, if you're going to freewheel, just go past me.
Yeah, because one thing I did learn on this trip is if you really want to wind her up when you're annoyed at each other, yeah.
Is go behind and freewheel.
I'll just sit behind her and just keep freewheeling.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
If someone behind... Right, I'm sorry. If you're on a club ride, if you're on a ride, don't go behind someone and freewheel. It's the most annoying thing ever.
No, I disagree with that a little bit, because when you're on like a club ride or a...
Unless you're going down a hill.
No, like sometimes when you're on a club ride, because you're doing less power when you're behind someone. You do get people freewheeling.
It's okay a little bit, but not all the time. It's
but I was purposely doing it like...
Yeah, I know you were.
Even when I could see you were pushing a little bit, I'd just
stop
like,
it now. Now you're just showing off.
No, it's not showing off. It was just to annoy you.
Right, anyway, the most interesting person we met on the trip was this guy. We didn't actually talk to him. He just asked us he asked us if we knew if this was the right way to somewhere, and I was like, I'm not from here, mate, sorry, but I pointed him.
About him.
He had, honestly, I've never seen so many bags on a bike.
Genuinely.
He literally had, like, 2 massive panniers with, like, bags strapped on top
4
of bungee
panniers.
cords. Panniers on the front as well,
and the back, yeah.
He had, like, a rucksack on, all sorts. I don't know where he was going.
He looked really baggy clothes, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, he looked great. He looked like he was having a great time, but he did look a bit knackered.
Looked like he was touring the whole of France.
Probably the whole world, more like.
Yeah, he did have enough stuff.
I mean, he had enough, I don't know where he was going.
And he looked very bedraggled.
Yeah, he looked, really bedraggled.
But he was asking us, basically what he was trying to ask us is if this was a Route 6. I was like, sorry, mate, I don't actually know where I am.
I'm on day 6 of my trip, that's all I know.
Yeah, I
don't know actually... what route I'm on.
Yeah, so he was a bit interesting. It was interesting to look at.
Yeah, but it was like, although it was definitely the hardest thing we've done, I think it's just like the long mileage every day. It was also one of the best things we've ever done. And we've managed to raise nearly £6,000 for an eating disorder charity. So I'm really happy about that because I started cycling. When I started cycling, I was really struggling with my eating disorder. And cycling helped me to be able to eat. It's weird because a lot of people think, oh, well, if you start cycling when you've got an eating disorder, it's going to make you worse because you're exercising more. And actually, no, for me, it made me realise that if I want to achieve in my cycling, I want to go far, I've got to get better, I've got to eat because I'm not going to be able to ride fast if I'm not eating enough. So cycling really helped me to be able to eat in a cafe. Like, I would never be able to eat in a cafe before I cycled. I'd cry at like the thought of having to eat cake and things. Whereas now, I can have it and I don't feel guilty and my body, I'm a healthy weight and I've got so much to thank this charity for that we raised money for. So it was nice to give something back. And I still struggle, don't I, Kyle? But I'm much better than I was. And I wouldn't be where I am now without Kyle either.
I think for anyone that's had like mental health struggles or anything like that, there's always going to be moments where you still struggle a little bit, regardless of what mental health issue.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't even need to be a full mental health issue, but you could still struggle.
Everyone struggles.
In life, in general, yeah.
Yeah, and it's normal.
So, yeah, we all can't be happy and bouncy all the time, and
definitely not.
Things happen.
Things happen, life goes on. I think that's why sometimes, you just have to remind yourself, like, yes, there is loads of happy moments, but there's also loads of sad moments. But the happy moments always make up for the sad moments. Like, all the down times we had on the trip, like the rain in our face and like going the wrong way and going on gravel, and there was always loads of happy moments to make up for it. And I always think, like, I know it's really cheesy, but it's really like, but like every bike ride you go on, it's not always happy the whole time, but you come back and you remember the happy bits.
I was literally just about to say, like, the way your mental health is very similar to riding a bike. Like, you might have a really tough day on the bike with quite a lot of low moments, but then when you finish, you've had a lot of high moments too. and you just get through it.
Yeah, and you have to
and you get through the other side, and then you're like happy after. And
yeah,
it's just the same as your mental health, really. You do just get through it.
Like when I was struggling loads, I just couldn't see a way out, and honestly, I never thought I'd be in a position where I could do what I do now and be genuinely happy on days. Like those days when I just couldn't see myself being happy ever again, and I didn't want to be here and things like that. But now I look back on that time, and I'm so glad that I got through it. And I think anyone struggling should just know that just don't give up, because although it can seem like everything's bad and life will never get better, it will, and it can, and you just have to work hard and you can get there. So make sure you get help as well. That's the main thing. I'm just so grateful that I had help, and I hope everyone can. But yeah, that's a little mental health section.
That's enough of that.
Carl, can your stomach, is your stomach okay?
I don't know what's going on here.
Is she in the toilet? Are you okay?
Sorry about this.
Are you having a bit of, has the peanut butter disagreed with you?
Don't start attacking me.
Was it the crunchy in the peanut butter?
She's coming for me again.
Anyway, we'll lead now on to, we thought it'd be a nice little feature. We need to get me a stopwatch. Have you got a stopwatch?
I can get a stopwatch.
So each episode we are going to have a moan moment, because us British, we do like to have a bit of a moan. And I know I do like to be positive, and I'm quite a positive person most of the time, but I think sometimes you have to let it out with a moan. So we thought each episode we're going to have a moan moment, let out some rages of the week. Please send us yours in, because we would love to hear these. Email in your rage of the week to akapodcast@outlook.com. That's the right email, isn't it? akapodcast@outlook.com. Email us in your rage of the week. Just one sentence, one line. We'll read some out because I'd love to hear them. But we're going to have 45 seconds each now, Kyle, to moan about anything you want to from this week. Shall I go first? So I feel prepped for this.
Calm down.
Right, start me timer. 3, 2, 1.
My rage of the week is how ready you are for the rage of the week. 3, 2, 1.
Action. Right, we've got a new drive that apparently is a new drive, but it's not a new drive. It's just a load of sand, because Kyle told me he was going to get it done. It's not been done. It's now been sand and gravel for the past 2 weeks, bringing sand in the house every single day. Also, bathroom, no fan for over a whole year. Really stressing me out, especially when Kyle goes in the toilet. Aldi checkout. Came back from France. No, I'm still in the French lifestyle here, living my slow life. No, throw me down your carrots, throw me down your baguette, whatever you're throwing at me. I'm not ready to pack it in that time. I'm sorry, mate, can you slow down a bit? Why do they throw your stuff at you? An Aldi. I go in there, nice and calm. I come out stressed. I've got 10 seconds left. That's all I want to say, really. Aldi just, you're messing with me. That's why sometimes I have to go to Tesco and spend more money just to de-stress, to be honest. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think
that feels, so much better.
That game, you had 45 seconds. You didn't mean
I could have gone for longer.
That doesn't mean you need to talk quicker.
Well, I wanted to get more in.
Flipping it.
Right, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Next time we do that, can you hold the timer towards me so I can see?
Someone has been upsetting you.
Literally, I think we need a minute and a half. That was great. But honestly, I'd recommend this, guys. We do this sometimes. On a Friday, we get in from work. Just moan. Get all your moans out, and then you feel great after. Are you ready, Kyle? 3, 2, 1, action.
Well, mine's just a very generic moan. I'm sick of this weather. We literally, not today, today's been fantastic, but all week I've been back at work on Tuesday. I had one day off work. I was back at work on Tuesday, and every day has just been freezing and wet and damp and miserable. I felt so low just because of the sky being so dull and wet. The wind. It's just been rank. So yeah, that's basically my moan. I don't need the 45 seconds because I'm just a typical British person that moans about the weather.
Basically, Kyle, you only use 33 seconds. You are a bricklayer, to be fair, in case people don't know, so he does work outside. I don't think you had anything to moan about.
Well, I use the term bricklayer quite loosely at the minute because...
You've not been at work much recently?
No, we've been doing a few bits, haven't we?
I think you didn't have anything to moan about, Kyle. The weather?
Well, I suppose there is other things I could moan about, but some things I like to keep to myself.
Oh, Kyle, you can't keep things to yourself on this podcast. You'll soon learn that as we get into the swing of it.
You don't want to start moaning about people, really.
Oh, no, you can't mention people. That we don't want to offend anyone.
And that's what I'm saying. So.
Why? Have you got some people to moan about?
Well, you know I've got some moaning to do about some people, but...
Have you?
Yes, but we're not going to go into that.
Aren't we? Oh, I want to know now.
Maybe off mic.
Off mic, yeah, I want to know. Who you want to moan about?
Off the mic.
Is it my mum and dad?
Psych.
Is it my mum and dad?
No, Mike is not like a code. Your dad's name's Mike, so...
Yeah.
No.
It's not
I love your mum and dad.
Oh, that's nice then. Anyway, that was great.
Yeah, enjoyed that.
Right, we'll now move on to, because obviously we're going to talk, all things cycling, anything really. We'll just talk about anything, to be honest. We could talk all day. But we are now going to talk about marriage. Every week we thought we'd just, give a little argument of the week. I think we've already had am I boring you?
Now we're on to the marriage section. I can have a yawn.
Yeah, well, we just want to know, marriage isn't easy. I mean, to be honest, the Italy trip, like, people always ask us how we can cycle together so much. And I think we are very lucky. I'm so grateful that we ride together, because I know a lot of people, like, only either one of them cycles, or like one of them's a lot faster than the other. And Kyle, you are faster than me. And you won't admit it, but you are.
I think in some aspects I should be there because I'm a
Yeah, you
man.
should be. Yeah, you've got testosterone.
There's a lot of factors of why I should be.
And you are faster than me. You didn't start off faster than me. We'll do another podcast
I
episode
think you
about
used to
how we
enjoy
started.
that as well.
Yeah, I did used to enjoy.
She used to
being faster.
punish me, but now she's regretting that.
Yeah, because now you punish me. But I am very grateful that we do ride together. I'm very grateful for that, and we do get on so well. Like, we're very
Well,
lucky.
when I went on the radio the other day, he said how he can see how close we are.
But I think the trips we do brings us closer together.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, romantic.
And we know, but to be fair, we don't. Every couple bickers.
Yeah, that's why
That's
we're bringing
just
in the
natural.
argument of the week.
Yeah.
So every week we do. I mean, we're not going to argue for the podcast on purpose, like to make a story. But most weeks we have an argument. Most days, to be honest, we have a little tiff. I mean, it's normal, isn't it? I think.
I mean, we had a little tiff today, didn't we?
Yeah, we'll talk. I think that can be our argument of the week. So that's the biggest one we've had. Basically, we're on our way back from somewhere. You know when you're just really tired and you just start arguing over the stupidest things. Well, basically,
I was actually perfectly fine.
well, I was tired, and I think that's why we had an argument. Basically, we were driving home from somewhere.
Oh, I was driving home.
Kyle was driving home, and it should have been a 40-mile drive. Kyle did not follow the sat-nav correctly, and then the sat-nav said 65 miles. And I was like, Kyle, this isn't the normal way we go home. Why have you gone, like, a long way round? And he was like, no, this is definitely the way we go home every time.
I've been that way back every time, so I must make it longer each time.
That I've never seen. We went on these back lanes with mud on.
Well, I recognise that lane for a reason.
We've never been on that lane.
We have.
Well, basically...
Let's not start this again.
Yeah, so basically we had an argument because I said we normally go this way, Carl said we normally go that way. I just wanted to get home. We had an argument, basically me
No, we
saying,
didn't really have
why
an
can't you
argument.
just follow the sat-nav?
I just sat in silence while she just continuously, repeatedly moaned about the same thing, which I kept saying, it doesn't really matter. So what? It doesn't matter.
Because it was stressing me
out. And I kept
out.
saying, are you done yet? To the point where she got more and more angry.
Yeah, I was getting angry because you weren't reacting.
No, which is a new me.
Yeah, you're
Because
very...
I would have reacted at one.
To be fair, like, since we come back from Italy, I think we have been a lot more calm. Like, I've definitely learned that there's no point getting apart from on the way home today, earlier. Obviously, I did get a bit wound up then because I was tired. But I think we've kind of learnt that, like, when you get a puncture, you can either get really annoyed and really frustrated and, like, really down about it and then just make the mood even worse. Or you can just be like, oh, it's a puncture, let's fix it.
I mean...
That's what we did, didn't we?
I was very calm on our trip. And we had 10 punctures in total.
10 punctures. Yeah, and why did we have 10 punctures,
9
Kyle?
of which were mine.
Why?
Well, yeah, that's
want
another
to
argument
explain?
for another day.
No, come on.
Yeah, I made a schoolboy error. So we was packing up for the trip, changed Amy's tyres over, got everything all nice and new, fresh, thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be good. Neglected to change the tyres on my bike, in which when I got to Italy I then realised that they were still the raised compound tyres that I'd had on for the 24-hour. And I'd ridden quite a bit since then and not changed them.
Yeah. So basically you did a 2,000 kilometre ride on race tyres.
And race tyres do wear down a lot quicker.
Yeah, and we went on gravel.
A lot of gravel.
So that's why we had a lot of punctures. But we could either take the attitude of getting really angry, but we actually just decided...
But I was calm every time.
Yeah, really calm, and it's great. And also it's like in the rain and stuff, we could have got really like low and like, oh, it's raining, and, you know, get scared and think you're going to get hypothermia.
I mean, a couple of times you obviously get a little bit up.
Yeah, but we tried to be like singing in the rain and just accept it, this is how it is, and it just makes it so much better to have a laugh about it and a joke about it than just get really angry.
Not always possible.
Obviously, yeah, it depends what mood you're in, but most of the time we did that, and that's something I've brought home.
If you don't feel like being really positive or like singing in the rain, as which I didn't a lot of the time.
I did.
Yeah, you did. That was quite annoying. Just be quiet and just try and distract your mind.
Yeah.
Which is what I did. Because so Amy sometimes thinks I'm being miserable or mardy. In actual fact, I'm probably smiling really, but I'm just not saying a lot because I'm just distracting my mind as I'm doing it.
Yeah, we had quite a lot of moments,
works.
didn't we, where we just rode in silence for a bit when we were both a bit tired or...
Yeah, but that's fine.
But that was fine,
You don't need
that works.
to talk every minute of every day.
No.
And in fact, you can't.
No.
Because that would just drive me
Because I mean, I
nuts.
know on the YouTube I come across, I am very like,
I mean,
I
you are
talk a
like
lot
that
and I
a
am
lot.
like that, but I'm also I do like to have quiet moments.
I
And
mean, if you're not a morning person like me, you're a pain in the morning.
because I'm a morning person.
She'll tell me about what we're doing for the whole week in about 30 seconds as soon as I wake up.
I do like a plan.
And then she'll wonder why I forget stuff, because in the morning I'm not listening and I'm not talking.
I know, sorry about that, Kyle.
I have to have a coffee first.
But you kind of like, with marriage, you just learn to compromise and you have to learn to... I know it comes across a lot on the YouTube, like I'm just telling Kyle what to do all the time.
Which
but
he does.
But that's not the case really, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
Like we are...
I like to play on it and make people feel sorry for me.
Yeah, you do. You like to take
But,
that.
and Amy likes to play the role of telling me what to do, because she likes to feel like she's in charge. Because she's got this nice nature of wanting to be the boss.
Yeah.
But she's not really.
No, we are quite equal, really. Well, we have to be. That's how marriage works. So...
I'm just a silent assassin.
Silent assassin. Yeah, with your farts you are. I'll tell you that.
I like to call that my jetpack.
You what?
I like to call that my jetpack for the hills.
Oh, stop it. Now that's disgusting. That was a low moment of the ride for me. Getting to a lovely hotel. Oh, really nice and fresh in here. You let rip. It was disgusting. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
I'm sorry, but when you're on, as I like to call it, on the road diet, things are going to get a little unsettled.
Yeah, more than a little unsettled.
I'm referring to the weather.
I'm referring to your gullet. Anyway, but since we've been home, like, in terms of recovery and things, from like obviously, so we did 2,000 kilometres in 8 days, which is about 250k a day, averaged out, over 8 days. So, and people always ask us, like, how do you recover from that? Like, but what we've done is really just, we got back on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, just rested. Went on walks both days, little walks. I did a bit of yoga. Carl's not really into that, are you?
Not really, no.
I'm trying to get you into it, but you don't like it.
Well, I've tried it a few times. It's not really my thing. And then I don't have to be into it.
No, but I just think it's, for cycling, it is really good. I know you sometimes don't feel like doing it, but stretching and yoga.
No, stretching
just,
I'm
so
a lot better
yeah,
at.
you are. You do that.
Yoga
well.
is not really for me. I mean, I'm not the most flexible of people.
Not really. You can't touch your toes, can you?
Yes, I can.
Can you? Show
Right.
me.
Go back to the YouTube.
Come on.
And watch when we was at UK Bike Fit. And Dan was even impressed how
Oh, yeah, you
flexible
can
I was.
Come on, let's just show me a minute touching your toes. I can't believe
Quite
you can do
easily,
that.
mate.
Go on then. Sorry about the sound effects here. He's actually just touching his... Oh, you can touch your toes.
Easy.
I didn't think you could. I don't know why.
Well,
done.
I never used to be able to, actually.
Yeah, that's when I met you couldn't. You've become more
You're
flexible.
as stiff as a board on it, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, you do. It is like one of those things, touching your toes. If you practice
I'm actually
every day.
getting healthier and fitter as I get
Chest is having
older.
a stretch now. So yeah, just resting more, and then we've been eating lots of like protein, eating a lot this week. We've been so hungry, haven't we? Since we got back, we've been really hungry. I just tend to eat, and also it's nice just eating really healthy food. Like when you're on a bikepacking trip, a lot of the food you have to eat isn't the best, and I don't like that very much. So getting back to like healthy cooking food, like when we're at home, I don't eat anything like processed really, and that's not. I know a lot of people say that's an eating sort of thing, but actually I've been like that my whole life. I just like to eat healthy, cooked food, fresh. So we've been doing that. Carl's on that as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Carl likes to add a few extras, don't you? Sometimes
Yeah.
a few donuts, you got some donuts in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have your treats, haven't you?
Got to have your treats in life.
I won't say I'm completely unhealthy.
No, definitely
In fact,
not.
I'm healthy compared to most, but I do like my treats.
You do.
And you have got to be rewarded.
Oh yeah,
Just like Chester.
Chester's down here.
When he's behaving, he likes to be rewarded.
Anyway, back onto recovery, Kyle. Recovery with donuts. Then on 3 days after we got back, I just did a really steady spin on the turbo, basically just spinning really slowly, zone one as some people call it, you know, the people that like to get into all the zones and the technical stuff. Basically just spinning my legs really, really easy, and it actually just helps when you've got really stiff legs, like your lactate in your muscles builds up over time. And one of the ways to get that out is just doing an easy ride. And it honestly, afterwards, my legs felt better. And that's when I first started riding, I was like, oh no, that can't be right. Like, what, you feel better for doing a ride? But actually, if you do a ride where you're literally putting no effort in, you just spinning your legs easy, it does really help reduce the lactate. So I've done that. And then I did a little run just to see how my legs felt, and it was all right. So yeah, you just, for recovery, you literally just sleep, extra sleep as well. I've been going to bed like an hour earlier than normal, getting extra sleep, eating more protein, eating a bit extra, eating healthy, and just resting more. That's how we recover, isn't it, really? And then plan the next adventure.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
Plan the
My
next long
recovery is
ride.
like just trying to think when I can next do the next thing.
I know.
But
We are addicted now to cycling.
you do have to be careful not to
do too much.
take too much on, but
Because we were actually quite sad when we finished. It's weird because you have to, when
no,
you're
I think
on.
that's normal.
Well, yeah, when you're on a cycling tour like that, like it's like you're away from real life. Like you have no idea what's going on in the news. You just all you're thinking about is the next place you're getting to, eating enough, drinking enough, looking around you, and that's what I love about it. You see so much. You
It's
you
a
go
simple
through
life.
you go through hard moments, but you go through amazing moments, and then you come back to real life, and it's back to being thrown stuff down the Aldi blooming checkout, and
It's
everyone
almost
rushing
like
around.
a caveman existence. You're thinking
Yeah.
of the bare necessities, aren't you?
Yeah, it's survival.
Yeah.
And then you come back home and it's like TV, Netflix, Aldi food shop, cars zooming past. I mean, as soon as we got back to the UK, we realised how bad the roads are here compared to abroad.
Yeah,
But
that first day back.
you realise that all the things you stress about in life, like, oh, how nice my house is compared to someone else's, or how much money I've got in my bank account, or, how my hair looks, I know I do get a lot of, like, I know, be honest, but like I do not like what I look like, and I do stress about that a lot. But you go on about and you come back and you think, all those things I worry about, they're insignificant. When I look back on my life, am I going to remember how big my TV screen was? No, I'm going to remember the memories I've made.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the big theme in my life, particularly at the minute, is people get their priorities pretty wrong in terms of, you understand people have got families and stuff like that, and obviously you have to work and do these things to get by.
exactly, you've got to
But,
work, yeah.
Yeah, of course, but you've got to enjoy. If you say you get opportunities and stuff, you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah, and like we
You've got
started
to take these things that come to you and enjoy yourself.
exactly, like we started this Instagram, YouTube channel. Never in a million years did I think it would lead to the stuff we've done. And people always say, like, how did it happen? I don't know. Honestly, I do not know. But all I will say is we will take all the opportunities that come, because why would we not? Like, why would we not say yes to, like, next week we're cycling to Scotland to meet some famous, like, cyclists that we're very excited about. And it's like, we just can't say no to that. Like,
You've got to be happy in your
yeah.
life.
And obviously I still work part-time, and you work full-time, don't you? And, we have to, pay our mortgage and all that and all the normal stuff. But if you can do the things that make you happy and earn from it, why would you not? And I know a lot of people aren't in that position, so we're so grateful. We are so grateful. But anyone listening, like, I just say, just in the realms of what you can do and what you can afford, live your life to the full. See as much as you can, experience as much as you can. Like, just don't be worried about things. Don't be scared of saying yes to something that could lead to something amazing. But also, like, be careful. Like, obviously, you need to think about your responsibilities. Like, we can't jeopardise not paying the mortgage and stuff like that. Like, you have responsibilities, but you've got to balance up. And, yeah.
I mean, you've got to
live your life.
You've got to get a balance of. Yeah, I mean, at one stage in my life, I was just all about working and not doing anything but.
When I met you, we didn't cycle, and all you used to do was work. Literally 7 days a week, you'd be laying bricks.
But like seeing all these places and seeing these different cultures and stuff like that, it changes your perspective. It's not
Is your stomach okay?
It's peanut butter's playing out. Well, life's not all about working all the hours you possibly can to try and get as much money as you possibly can. I mean, if you've got to get that balance right.
You can't take it with you.
And I've realised that more so in the last couple of years since I've been cycling, is how much happier that makes you. And it's not all about just trying to kill yourself at work and trying
So
to...
I'd kill yourself on the bike instead now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's probably mentally better for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm not just getting up at silly o'clock every morning 7 days a week trying to
Yeah.
earn money, which is just depressing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, like we say, you have to have balance. Like, you do have to go to work, you do have responsibilities, but just live your life as much as you can. Like, don't care what people think. I mean, I'm here dancing on top of hills, yippieing down them, just living my best life, because there was one time in my life when I didn't want to be here. And honestly, like, now I'm just so grateful for every moment where I do want to be here, because life is just, when you let it be, life is amazing. And there was a time when I couldn't see that. And there was a time when I thought everything was wrong and I was worthless and a failure and I didn't want to be here. And I would never wish that loneliness on anyone. But when you felt that low, when you feel happy, you really feel it, and you really do think life is short. Like, we've got one life. just blooming live it. We're not going to get any date. Like this moment now, this minute I'm in, chatting to my lovely husband and whoever the hell's listening, 2 men and their blooming cat.
Three men and a cat.
The minute that's just passed, I never get that back again. Like, we never get any minute back. So just enjoy your days as much as you can. Like, I have shite days. I'm sorry for swearing, but awful. Like, where I feel like I don't want to be here, and I still get those days sometimes. I don't see that on the camera, but I do still get those days every so often. Not very often anymore, thank goodness. But even in those times, you just think you just have to get through it, because you know that tomorrow might be better, and if it's not next week might be better, and if that's not next month might be better. And at the end of the day, we're all just humans trying to live our lives. Like, there's no set rules to life, and there's no way of doing life wrong. As long as you are happy, like, prioritise when you go to bed at night, like, you want to just lie in bed and think, I've made the most of today. Like, and I am enough the way I am. Because a lot of us don't feel enough and feel like, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get that. And the problem is, when you get that, are you happy? Or is it like the next thing to get? Like, we're all bad at that.
Realistically, at one stage in my life, what we have now is more than I could have wished I would have.
And we're still worried about the blooming drive in the bathroom and the,
Well, I'm not actually worried about him, you are.
I am.
So I'm actually quite chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, at one stage, I've got more than what I could have wished for at one stage in my life. And
you've
it's
come
not
from
going
really-
anywhere.
Yeah.
And it makes you realise there's a lot of people out there that will try and take, like, your happiness away from you, or try and make fun of your happiness, and all I'll say
I
is
tell them, swivel on my middle
they're
finger.
just sad people, aren't they? That just
Yeah.
they get jealous of things that come your way, or like they want to make fun of things you do, and I just find it really sad for them, really, because we're living your best life, and you've got people that are probably a little bit jealous.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that bring you down and people that...
But they get joy out of bringing you down, and sometimes you've just got to think, you know what, I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
So what?
Exactly. Just
If someone feels the need to do that, then that's just a bit lower into it.
surround yourself with the people that make you happy.
Yeah.
Like, do what makes you happy and just, live your life. I feel like we got really deep there in that first part. Like, I didn't
Enough
expect
of
it.
that.
Let's get back to the silliness
I
now.
think we're having a bit of a vent.
I think we got deep there. I'm sorry about that, but maybe we helped someone there. How long have we been going for? Blooming Epcar. We've been talking for 37 minutes here. Better wrap up. Right. Anyway, we did ask people to email in either their rage of the week, their argument of the week, their lowest moment on the bike, or the proudest moment on the bike. Now, we got lots and lots and lots of proudest moments, so thank you so much for everyone sending them in.
And we do love that.
We do love that. So we're only going to have time for one each week. So if we don't read you out, I'm really sorry. Like, send us in again. We'll try and get everyone on that does.
And can we have some
email them?
like...
But please, can we have some not proud moments? Can we have some
I
rages?
quite like the argument moments, or like the rages, or...
Yeah, we want to hear your failures.
Come on, let's have a tickle. We all have arguments.
We're all
have a rage.
human. Come on, share us your rages.
I'm all for the proudest moments, because that's really nice to read. And especially reading
It's
all
lovely.
these, it's really nice to read. But yeah, let's have some next week maybe.
Next week, come on, send us in your rages and your disagreements. That's what we want to hear. Your marriage disputes, fallouts, things like that. We want the goss. Anyway, we're going to go for, who did we choose? Did we say that one? That one.
I can't remember.
Right, we went for Dave. We had so many people. So
Dave.
We're going for Dave. Dave Short, shout out to you.
This is his real name.
I wonder if he is actually short. Or that's just his surname. Probably just his surname. He sent us in some lovely photos. Unfortunately, we can't share them because we're only doing, audio here. But one photo is him with a headband on with a lot of...
Well, it's a bandana or such.
Bandana on with a lot of cuts on round his eye. And the other photo is him lifting his bike up in the air. It's upside down.
He might be short, actually.
His water bottles are upside down there. I hope not no water in. He's lifting his bike above his head, but his bike's upside down.
Does look quite hot there.
Does look hot. So let's read what he said. I might have to bullet point this up, Dave, because you did send rather a long paragraph and, time's ticking. So he said he wanted to share his biggest cycling fail/achievement. So we have got a bit of a failure in there. We do like a bit of that.
I'm not laughing at this.
So
though.
we're not laughing at this, but the photo is quite funny. So on the 21st of May, he came off of his bike after hitting some gravel. We've all been there. Luckily, not luckily, sorry. No. That's the next
Cheeky
bit.
rat.
Not luckily. He ended up needing 7 stitches above his eyebrow. Luckily, he was out with the Shifty
Shout out
cycling
to them.
club, who looked after him until help arrived. He was training for London, Paris at the time. After doing that, he had no idea if he'd get on the bike again, let alone do the ride. Big thank you to the staff at New Cross Hospital. Shout out to them. Apparently they were amazing. They do look amazing. I mean, he's got his bandana on there. I wonder if they gave him that, or was that straight after the crash? Anyway, 2 weeks after doing this, he travelled down to London, and then over 4 days, cycled 300 miles from is that how you say it? Greenwich. Sorry. Anyway.
Amy's awful pronunciation.
I'm not very good pronunciation. Sorry. Down to Paris with the charity Cure Leukemia. Yes.
We have done some riding with.
We rode with them. They're great. This was an absolutely fantastic experience for a brilliant cause. With it being the first time back on the bike after the accident, the first day was really about building the confidence back, but being around so many people with all their own reasons supporting the charity was awe-inspiring. Well done, Dave. You are great.
Massive shout out to Dave, actually, because that must have took a bit of courage to get back on the bike. Yeah. And also doing it for Cure Leukemia.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic charity to do it for.
They are great. So well done, David. I would love to hear that. A bit of failure with a nice ending.
But I'm glad to hear that you're back on the bike, smashing it. So
hopefully your stitches are nice and embedded.
I hope you've got a nice scar, actually.
Yeah, you've got a story to tell.
Because you might look quite cool like, with a little scar above your eyebrow.
Got a story to tell there.
A bit jealous of that.
Oh, don't go getting scars on purpose, Kyle. You've already got enough.
I won't be getting it on purpose.
You've already had a broken nose when you were younger, haven't you?
Yeah, I do have a few scars, in fairness.
Yeah, one of which from not wearing cycling gloves and coming off. Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, I think that we'll bring the podcast to an end there. Sorry if we started off a bit iffy, but it's our first ever one. We're hoping we can do this either every week or every 2 weeks, depending on what time we have.
And whenever we do it, we might refine it a little bit.
Yeah, and we're just, chatting away. We'll bring in a bit of mental health, cycling, everything really, and hopefully it will just give you something to listen to while you're walking your dog or your cat or whatever you've got, your hamster.
Let's keep it raw.
Let's keep it raw, We've not scripted, we've got no bullet point, nothing, we're just speaking lingo here. So
no, I think they gathered that we're just...
Probably gathered that.
Chatting away.
We're just chatting. Hopefully we'll have guests on. Please email us in your fails, your rages of the week, your proudest moments of, we do want to hear them. We do like hearing that. To akapodcast at hot.
Or maybe you could send us the options.
Send us the options, send us a few. But please don't send us War and Peace, okay? I can only read through, a few emails. I've not got time for War and Peace. Everyone that's emailed us in, though, it has been lovely to read.
And we have read all the messages.
We love it. We've read all of it. So if you emailed us in and we didn't read you out, honestly, thank you so much.
You're all brilliant.
Yeah, we think you're all amazing. It made us smile. You're all fab. Keep riding, keep enjoying it, keep smiling, keep going. And it's AKA, sorry, not Hotmail, it's outlook.com. But yeah, we'll say thank you so much for watching. Not watching, sorry, I'm used to YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Goodbye.
Over and out.
Should we try and get Chester to bark? Say goodbye.
He's a bit
Chester, you're going to bark?
He's settled.
Come on, he's got to bark. Bark, come on, we don't put it in you. Yay!
That was good.
Bye!
You can have a treat for that.